Welcome to the City of Houston, in collaboration with Texas Department of Transportation, or TxDOT, Houston District's virtual public hearing for the Westpark Drive Paving and Drainage Project. This is a pre-recorded presentation. I would like to welcome you and thank you for participating in this virtual public hearing. This virtual public hearing presentation is available for viewing starting on Tuesday, March 23, 2021. During the virtual public hearing, you may pause the presentation and navigate forward or backward using your video player. This virtual public hearing is being held to present the proposed design sections and gather public input. You are encouraged to submit comments on the project after reviewing the hearing materials and listening to this presentation. This virtual public hearing is being held to introduce the proposed project, present the design sections being considered, and gather public input. This hearing is required under the Texas Administrative Code Title 43, Chapter 2, Subchapter E, Rule 2.107, because of the addition of bicycle lanes as part of the proposed project, which is considered under the state code as a substantial change in function. In this presentation, I will describe the proposed project, provide an overview of the environmental studies that have been performed, explain the next steps in the project development process, and outline the methods for submitting comments. The City of Houston encourages you to provide comments after this presentation and during the comment period, which extends 15 days after the day this presentation is posted online. Comments must be received via phone, email, or mailed and postmarked by Thursday, April 8th to be included in the virtual public hearing summary report. You could submit comments in the following ways: via phone number 832-395-2090 and press 1, via email to buildforward@houstontx.gov, via the Westpark project page at www.publicworks.houstontx.gov/node/394, and via mail to Attention Westpark Drive, City of Houston, P.O. Box 1592, Houston, Texas 77251. For general questions, please call the City of Houston phone number at 832-395-2090 and leave a message. You may email the City at any time in the development process at buildforward@houstontx.gov to ask questions about the project. Or if you have problems accessing the public hearing information online, have requests for special accommodations, or have language or interpretation needs other than English and Spanish, please call or email the City and reference Westpark Drive. Given the unique circumstances of the COVID-19 pandemic, along with the Department's commitment to protecting public health during this national emergency, the City of Houston and the Houston District TxDOT are conducting this virtual public hearing to avoid in-person contact. At this time, an online public hearing is being conducted in lieu of an in-person public hearing. This presentation covers the same information that the City of Houston and Houston District TxDOT would have presented in an in-person public hearing. The comment process for the virtual public hearing will be described near the end of this presentation. All hearing materials can also be found on the City of Houston's project webpage. The webpage for the project is www.publicworks.houstontx.gov/node/394. The publishing and outreach notification methods for this project include mail, email, legal noticing, and social media and website posting. Notices for this public hearing were published in the Houston Chronicle and Lavos on Monday, March 8th. Elected official letters were emailed on Friday, March 5th, and public hearing information and the notice was posted to the City of Houston's website. The public notices were mailed directly to adjacent property owners on Monday, March 8th. This project is receiving federal funds, and because of the federal component, TxDOT is required to assess the potential environmental effects of the proposed project in accordance with federal standards. The process that is followed is called the National Environmental Policy Act process, otherwise known as NEPA. The NEPA process provides analysis of the potential impacts to the natural and man-made environment and helps the decision maker to make an informed decision on whether or not to proceed with the project. On December 9, 2019, TxDOT received a signed Memorandum of Understanding from the Federal Highway Administration that permits TxDOT to assume responsibility from the Federal Highway Administration for reviewing and approving certain assigned NEPA projects. This review and approval process applies to this project. The project area extends from Willcrest Drive to South Dairy Ashford Road, west for approximately 2.13 miles on a portion of Westpark Drive located in Harris County, Texas. The existing right-of-way is 100 feet, and the proposed improvements would be within the existing right-of-way. No residential or commercial displacements are anticipated. Westpark Drive begins as a 4-lane roadway from Willcrest Drive, running west, just past the detention pond near Royal Oaks Country Club. It then becomes a 2-lane roadway to just west of Royal Oak Bridge. The project area then turns into a 4-lane section until just east of Fern Drive and back into a 2-lane roadway just east of Oxford Oak Street. Finally, Westpark Drive becomes 4 lanes to South Dairy Ashford Road, where the project ends. These graphics outline the project development process. The initial step in any project is to determine the needs in the project's study area. Once a need is identified, we begin taking steps to fulfill that need by engaging with qualified project team members to study and design the proposed project according to the National Environmental Policy Act. Once key data has been obtained, a design is developed that considers environmental impacts, drainage, accessibility, and traffic modeling, to name a few. Then, we present the project to the public in efforts to obtain any additional information, concerns, or support. The project team reviews every comment and statement received and adjusts the project as needed. Following these adjustments, the project is ready to bid for construction. Currently, Westpark Drive project area extends from South Dairy Ashford to Willcrest Drive. The average right-of-way within the project area is 100 feet. Westpark Drive is currently a 4-lane road from Willcrest Road to just west of the detention pond near Metro Center on Westpark Drive. There are left turning lanes and dividing medians throughout until Westpark becomes a 2-lane roadway with no dividing medians. This part of the road narrows to 2 lanes until just east of South Kirkwood Road. At this point, Westpark Drive widens again to 4 lanes with divided medians and left turning lanes until just east of Fern Drive, where it narrows again to 2 lanes. Finally, the roadway widens to 4 lanes with divided medians and left-turning lanes, with the project area ending at South Dairy Ashford Road. Now, let's talk about daily traffic volumes and level of service along Westpark Drive, what it is today and what is projected for the future. Level of service ranges from A, free-flowing traffic as shown in light green, to F, which is heavily congested as shown in red. In terms of delays experienced by the traveling public, a level of service A through D is considered acceptable, and the level of service E or F is considered unacceptable in terms of delays experienced by the traveling public. With no improvements to Westpark Drive, traffic congestion is projected to grow to undesirable levels by 2040. Based on estimated traffic counts, traffic volume on the segment between Kirkwood Drive and Willcrest Drive are projected to grow from 13,480 in 2020 to 18,593 in 2040, an increase of 38%. This segment of road is currently operating at capacity with a level of service D with the current 2-lane configuration. The level of service, or LOS, is projected to degrade to an undesirable LOS F in 2040 without this project, with traffic experiencing heavy delays in the peak hours with negative consequences to quality of life and environmental impact. With this project, future traffic would operate at an acceptable LOS D. Regarding safety, the project team analyzed crash data for the project corridor for the years 2015 to 2019. Locations of crashes were placed on a map, and circles were placed and color-coded where multiple crashes occurred in the same general location. These are called hot spots. The red spots show the highest concentration of crashes, which, as you can see, center around South Derry Ashford Road, West Houston Central Boulevard, and Willcrest Drive intersections on Westpark Drive. The yellow and green colors show a lower concentration. Between 2015 and 2019, 25% of all crashes in the corridor happened at intersections. The crash rate increased 42% from 2015 to 2019, with 292 crashes total during that time period. One of the goals for the project is to reduce crashes along the corridor. The original Westpark Drive project was planned as a 4-lane boulevard, though there are currently 4-lane sections throughout the approximately 2-mile stretch of road. There are portions of the eastbound side of Westpark Drive which are missing in certain 2-lane sections. For example, the segment between West Houston Center Boulevard and Willcrest Road exists as a 4-lane boulevard, with the exception of the eastbound lanes between Kirkwood and east side of Royal Oaks subdivision. Also, multiple transitions between 4-lane and 2-lane sections create safety concerns. The existing portions of the pavement have deteriorated and need rehabilitation or replacement. Storm sewers, as well as signals and sidewalks, need upgrading to meet current City of Houston standards. The project purpose is to improve safety and mobility, complete missing portions of the boulevard, upgrade traffic signals at intersections to current City of Houston standards, improve pedestrian access and meet ADA requirements, improve drainage and reduce street flooding, improve underground utilities as necessary, add bike lanes and shared use paths to extend system from existing on-street lanes along Westpark Drive and along Willcrest to the future hike and bike trail, and to consolidate medians to manage access. The City of Houston has designed 4 proposed typical sections for current stretches of this project. In all 4 designs, the improvements include 4 travel lanes, 2 in each direction, raised medians with trees, along with different configurations of bicycle and pedestrian accommodations. The 4 sections are discussed in more detail in the following slides. The first section of roadway design, beginning at Willcrest Drive to just east of Royal Oaks Country Club, includes 20-foot wide medians, but differs from the proposed Section 2. In this section, the 4 11-foot wide lanes exist on mostly existing pavement, but would be extended with 2 5-foot wide sidewalks and 2 5-foot wide bike lanes on proposed and existing pavement in each direction. The proposed Section 2 extends from east of Royal Oaks Country Club to West Houston Center Boulevard and includes 2 11-foot wide travel lanes in each direction with 2 20-foot medians. This section would also include 1 dedicated 10-foot wide shared use path going eastbound and a dedicated 5-foot wide sidewalk with a 5-foot wide bike lane going westbound. The proposed Section 3 on Westpark Drive from West Houston Center Boulevard to east of Fern Drive would also have 4 11-foot wide lanes, 2 in each direction. However, this section would have 18-foot wide raised medians and 2 dedicated 10-foot wide shared use paths for bicyclists and pedestrians on either side. For the proposed Section 4, from east of Fern Drive to South Derry Ashford Road, there would be 4 11-foot wide travel lanes, 2 in each direction, running east and westbound, as well as 26-foot wide raised medians. Pedestrian upgrades to this section include 2 dedicated 6-foot wide proposed sidewalks on either side of Westpark Drive. This map shows an overview snapshot of the project area between Willcrest and South Derry Ashford, split into 2 sections and focusing on the proposed sidewalk in bright green and proposed pavement in purple. In this overview, you can also see the intersections along Westpark Drive where the proposed underground utility relocation and streetlight upgrades would be performed. Though no additional signals would be built, Existing signals located at the intersections of South Derry Ashford, West Houston Center, Kirkwood, and Wilcrest would be replaced to meet the current City of Houston utility and safety standards, including safety upgrades for bicycles and pedestrians. Here is a screenshot of the legend for the project layout that you can find on the website. These legends are included on each page of the layouts, so you can reference it as you review them. The screenshot on the right shows the colors that will fill the proposed design. These colors identify the limits and major aspects of the project. Let's walk through them. The yellow color identifies the proposed pavement on Westpark Drive. The existing right-of-way line is orange. The red line marks the end of the proposed intersections and additions to the roadway. The green line shows the proposed sidewalk, and the pink line outlines the roadway itself. Lastly, the black line with smaller black lines mark the updates to the roadway and shows additional lanes. The engineering team has developed project layouts to design proposed improvements that meet the project needs, while minimizing the additional right-of-way needed and displacements and impacts to private property. We are showing a high-level overview of layouts and have included a large PDF on the project website. You can see the link at the bottom right of the slide that will take you to the maps on the City of Houston project website. The engineering team has broken the project layout into 2 pages to show you more detail about the roadway design sections. If you would like to take a closer look at the designs for a specific area of the project, you can download the project layout by clicking on the link on the presentation PDF, then clicking on the project layout link and zoom in on your locations of interest. The City of Houston considered several factors when developing the designs and upgrades to provide equitable access for all Westpark Drive users, including bicyclists and pedestrians. These considerations include bike lanes, sidewalks, and shared use paths. Shared use paths and bike lanes are proposed running west and eastbound along the roadway. 5-foot sidewalks are also proposed with a 3-foot buffer, shown in white, between the sidewalk and the bike lanes. There are also 5-foot buffers between the shared use paths and the road. The 2 graphics here show a representation of sidewalks, bike lanes, and shared paths, which are all proposed bike and pedestrian accommodations varying throughout the approximate 2-mile roadway. Funding of the Westpark Drive project breaks down into federal, local, City of Houston, and state, TxDOT. The total design fee, approximately, is $2.1 million and fully funded by the city. Federal funding participation is approximately $9.7 million. The total construction cost is approximately $15.4 million. The City of Houston provides the design and construction. TxDOT provides oversight and review due to federal funding. I will now discuss the environmental studies completed for this proposed project. The project team identified and evaluated potential environmental impacts that could occur as a result of constructing the proposed improvements. Technical reports for each of these studies are available online on the project webpage for public review. As part of the project's NEPA compliance, the City of Houston considered biological resources, community impacts, water resources, hazardous materials, archaeological and historical resources, and park and recreational areas. The project was designed to avoid or minimize impacts to the greatest amount practicable. Overall, impacts to the environmental resources as a result of the proposed Westpark Drive improvements would be minimal. First, I will discuss the biological resources study. Most of the project area consists of urban streets and neighborhoods. The project area does not contain a suitable habitat and is not within range of any listed threatened or endangered species. The project area is also not within a range of any species of greatest conservation need. Next, I will discuss community impacts. Minor access changes would result from median opening consolidations. No displacements are anticipated as a result of the proposed project. Limited English proficiency populations were identified within the project area. Limited English proficiency persons were provided and will continue to be provided the opportunity for meaningful involvement in the NEPA process for the proposed project. Design elements for the proposed improvements include improved drainage, as well as increased amenities for bicycle and pedestrian traffic. Increased safety and mobility is expected with a new proposed bike lane, which would integrate into the existing bike path network. Continuous sidewalks are also proposed while improving mobility within the project area. No displacements and no adverse community impacts are anticipated with the proposed project. Overall, the proposed design features would enhance mobility and access and would reduce congestion and improve safety for both minority and non-minority census geographies. In addition to community impacts, access changes provide significant impact to the project area. The first access change, 1, is the closure of the existing median opening east of Derry Ashford. The access change impacts 2 driveways at this location. The second one, 2, is a change at the Shadow Fern intersection of Westpark Drive. Access to this intersection allows a left turning access to the side street but no access out, turning left of the side street. The most significant access change, 3, is the closure of the median opening on Westpark in between West Houston Center Boulevard and Kirkwood Road. This closure impacts the left turn access to the gas station from westbound traffic. This location was decided on due to safety concerns and the need for access from the westbound left turn lane, which has a high volume of turning vehicles. The last location, 4, is the median opening providing access to the Cube Storage Building west of Wilcrest. Left turns out of this storage facility are not ideal. Another environmental resource studied was Waterways. The Westpark Drive project area crosses 2 main drainage canals in between South Derry Ashford and West Houston Central Boulevard, and each of these canals connect with Brays Bayou. Approximately 72% of the project area is located within the 100-year floodplain, and 28% is within the 500-year floodplain. Based on a survey conducted by the qualified biologists and current environmental regulations, no potential waters of the United States would be impacted by this project. No unresolved hazardous material concerns were identified, and no potential concerns were found during the hazardous material initial site assessment process, which would impact the project area. No hazardous materials action is required for the project area. Next, we have archaeological resources. The Westpark Drive project area does not intersect with any recorded archaeological or historic sites. No effects are anticipated to have archaeological historic properties and/or state antiquities landmarks. Regarding non-archaeological historic properties and Westpark Drive, no historic properties are anticipated to be impacted by the proposed project. No parks or recreation area impacts occur in the project area. Noise impacts were forecasted by using the Federal Highway Administration's Traffic Noise Model 2.5 to estimate future noise levels at residences and other sensitive receivers near the proposed Westpark Drive. Most of the residential homes on Westpark Drive have existing 7-foot barriers. Increments in noise neighborhood walls up to 20 feet in height placed along the right-of-way would not be reasonable or feasible based on criteria set by FHWA. Therefore, a noise neighborhood wall is not proposed for these locations. The proposed project would take place within the existing right-of-way. This project would not displace any above-ground structures, but would include the displacement and relocation of underground utilities. Significant delays in traffic due to construction would not be anticipated, and access to adjacent properties would be expected to remain open throughout the construction process. We want to highlight the estimated project timeline. Look for the blue "We Are Here" arrow at the bottom of the slide. This virtual public hearing is being held to present the proposed improvements and gather public and stakeholder input. After the comment period closes, the City of Houston and TxDOT will review the comments received and prepare a virtual public hearing summary report, which includes responses to all comments received by the comment deadline. The summary report will be posted to the project website once completed. The next steps include refining the design and requesting the environmental decision. Provided the environmental documents and process are approved, The project would then move into detailed design and finally construction. As stated earlier, construction is scheduled to begin in mid-2021. The project team anticipates that construction would take approximately 2 years. The City of Houston project website shown here contains all materials presented in this virtual public hearing, including this presentation in both English and Spanish. These materials include exhibit boards, a comment card, a project fact sheet, project layouts for the proposed improvements, presentation and script, and the environmental technical reports. The project layouts provide a more in-depth look at details such as intersection improvements, sidewalks, shared use paths, and the existing right-of-way. This concludes the project information presentation for the Westpark Drive Paving and Drainage Project. The next few slides describe the ways you can comment on the proposed project and contact information for general project questions. The City of Houston encourages you to provide comments. Comments must be received via phone, email, or mailed and postmarked by Thursday, April 8th. To be included in the virtual public hearing summary report. You can submit comments in the following ways: via phone number 832-395-2090 and press 1, via email to buildforward@houstontx.gov, via the Westpark project page at www.publicworks.houstontx.gov/node/394, and via mail to Attention Westpark Drive, City of Houston, P.O. Box 1562, Houston, Texas 77251. Members of the public who wish to participate may call the City of Houston at 832-395-2090 and press 1 to verbally provide testimony. All comments must be received on or before 11:59 p.m. on Thursday, April 8th. Responses to written comments received and public testimony provided will be available online at www.publicworks.houstontx.gov/node/394 when completed. After the virtual public hearing, during the comment period, call the project phone number at 832-395-2090 to leave your verbal comments. Remember, verbal comments during or after the virtual public hearing will be recorded and transcribed into the virtual public hearing summary and taken into consideration. Please be sure to submit your written and verbal comments no later than midnight on Thursday, April 8th, which is 15 days after the original March 23rd website posted date. This will ensure your comments will be included in the virtual public hearing summary report. Be sure to contact the City of Houston Public Engagement Team or for any questions related to the Westpark Drive or other projects in the City of Houston, or for a list of funded projects. You can email the Houston Public Works Public Engagement Team at buildforward@houstontx.gov. And for more information on the Westpark Drive project, visit Houston Public Works at www.publicworks.houstontx.gov/engage. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to submit your written and verbal comments by Thursday, April 8th. Thank you again for participating in this virtual public hearing for the Westpark Drive Improvement Project. This concludes the virtual public hearing presentation. Thank you for your interest and participation.